Speaking of people getting hurt, have you heard the injury report these days now? The one that's driving me crazy. Have you heard about Rhea Ripley? Did you see this on Twitter? She sent a picture out.
I did not see a picture, and I briefly heard that she was injured, but I haven't heard too much about what it was.
Rhea Ripley is injured. She got a concussion and her front teeth damaged by taking a DDT. Her own knee came down and hit her own face.
Oh, my God.
I've never heard of that before.
No.
And I don't know. And again, you'd never know these days. They're doing things differently. I don't know who gave it to her. I don't know how she took it. That's an odd one. But now, Rhea Ripley's out. We've talked, obviously, Punk, Cody, Adam Cole has been out. Now, Danielson just announced Danielson got hurt. And nobody will say what the injury is, but they were suspectifying that it was a concussion. And in his promo this past Wednesday, which we'll get to here, unfortunately, at some point, that whole show, he said something like, I can read 500 words a minute. If he got a concussion, the point is he got it in the 10-man garbage match that they did on the last pay-per-view. No reason for Bryan Danielson, a talent like that, to be in a garbage match that anybody can do. And especially a guy that's had a history of concussions. Put him in the ring and let him do what he does best that nobody else can barely come close to. Or stick him in with a bunch of green fucking goofballs doing 25 minutes with furniture all around the arena for no reason. So now Danielson's hurt. And Kyle O'Reilly. Did you see this? Kyle O'Reilly's out.
I actually just heard something about it this morning. What happened to him?
He wrestled. Because now it's obvious if you get in the wrestling ring, you're going to get hurt. I don't know. They haven't said yet.
How many of these guys getting hurt are working 1 day a week?
Almost all. Who works more than 1 day a week anymore? The WWE guys, they do 3 now, maybe. I've lost track of the rest of. I mean, they're Red Velvet. They're looking for new baddies because Red Velvet's injured. So people we don't even ever see wrestling on television, are they getting hurt on fucking YouTube?
They're getting hurt somewhere. I mean, the CM Punk thing was a bit of a freak accident. You know, he shouldn't have jumped into the crowd more than likely, but he didn't know his foot or his leg or whatever it was going to hit the barricade, and whatever was going to happen was going to happen.
And whatever happened with Cody, you can tear a fucking muscle. You know, we've talked about that. So that was just very bad timing and 2 top stars at the same time.
Perhaps Cody was bulking up a little too much. I don't know. But the Danielson thing, correct me if I'm wrong, he got hurt in that arena match, the arena brawl. Wasn't even in like a wrestling match. It was in
that's what I'm saying. The 10-man garbage match at the pay-per-view. Why put him in that? And they're fucking throwing furniture around and bullshit. And he got hurt in that when he shouldn't have been involved in it anyway, because any dipshit can do that stuff.
I mean, we've seen multiple on-air concussions from the Hardys. Multiple. I mean, it's crazy when you really think about it.
Well, actually, Jeff would be out injured if he wasn't in jail. Or
he's not in jail.
You know, if he wasn't. Well, now, and apparently hey, you never know. Apparently now, though, he's in treatment.
Yeah.
This was so the point is we've now narrowed this down by statements that everybody has made. Apparently, when Jeff was pulled over for a blood alcohol level of 3.5 times the legal limit in the state of Florida, he was on his way to his brain scan, where they were going to, I'm sure, tell him, oh, fuck, you got no business wrestling for however long, because he had just had a match that he didn't remember. And they switched the finish of the recent triple threat tag team title ladder fucking fiasco, because originally they were going to put the belts on the Hardys. So instead they put the belts on the Hardleys. So Jeff would be on the injured list if he wasn't in treatment. So, and I mean, we're not mentioning everybody here because the list is so long and we've forgotten. I don't
Randy
have
Orton.
Randy Orton. Now they're saying he may be out till the end of the year. And again, Orton, he doesn't do stupid shit. He works carefully and professionally. But over time, shit accumulates. There's always a breaking point, so it can happen at any time. The problem is it's never before ever happened with such frequency over and over, and especially concentrated in one company. On one side, you got Cody and Orton out.
Well,
on the other side, you got everybody else.
One other one, because it kind of goes to your point of the stupid shit being what causes this. Remember, we saw on TV Big E break his neck because he took a belly-to-belly on the floor.
Oh, yes. I forgot
in the middle of the
Big
match.
E. Yeah. Big E. He's, so, I mean, you know, maybe they've just decided to accept this level of risk with what they're doing, but, you know, it's stupid.
I know he's not on your list, but Omega's been out close to a year almost.
Well, he had to have everything fixed.
From, again, he's not working 200 days a year or 100 days a year. At least he hasn't the last few years. I don't know what he was working, a full-time New Japan schedule or DDT schedule, what that was. But he was working Dynamite. That's it.
World's greatest wrestler. Let's say besides for the plane crash between 1974 and 1994, the longest that Ric Flair was ever out of the ring was more due to a legal contract fiasco than any injury. Can you remember when he was the NWA champion, when Flair was on top in the Carolinas from the mid-70s, won the NWA title first time in 1981, through the end of the WCW TBS era, 1991-ish, when he went to work for Vince, when was Ric Flair ever injured for any significant period of time?
I'm not sure. I mean, the only angle I could even think of where he was injured was the Terry Funk neck angle in 89.
And that was an angle. He was out on purpose, but not injured.
Right.
He had injuries. There was times he would take a few days off, whatever. But again, and this was with not only the NWA champion schedule, but just your schedule in the Carolinas in the 70s. Maybe you had a day off one particular month, but you made up for that with double shots every single Sunday. And in the hour Broadway, et cetera, et cetera. So, and I mean, I know Flair's a freak of nature. But
yeah, Ahmed Johnson's on the other side of the scale.
Well, but you could say the same thing about all the guys in the territory days that were in top positions. And yes, some of them wrestled hurt when they shouldn't have, but we're talking about people that are injured to the point where they can't wrestle and they need surgery. And I guess they're, like I said, the modern generation is happy with the style where everybody knows it's phony, but they like to see you get hurt. So you'll just do it on purpose rather than convincing them you're hurt while you're really not, because everybody knows how to work. We'll try to keep updating this list. I'm sure that more will come in. And now somebody's going, oh, Cornette wants everybody to be hurt. No, I think they're all stupid, except the people where shit just happened and it's going to happen. But the people that have to have multiple body parts repaired or replaced because they're doing dive after dive that nobody gives a shit about anymore and everybody's seen, or taking bumps through tables on concrete in undercard matches or on television when somebody just did it in Seg 3, fuck you. What do you expect? You know, I'm telling you, Brian, a lot of these people also, we talked about our friends at Helix Sleep earlier in the program, but a lot of the boys, they just don't get the proper sleep, even if they have the surface to sleep on, even if they've got a nice mattress, even if they've got a quiet home, even if they've got no worries, they can't turn off their inner mechanisms and get a good night's sleep. And that causes weight gain, mood issues, poor mental health, lower productivity, lower white blood cell count. And if you have a low white blood cell count, you're never going to get pregnant, right? That's been established scientifically. Have you heard that?
I'm not sure. I was hoping that you actually knew what you were talking about here.
Well, I do. If your white blood cell count is down, then you'll never get your significant other pregnant, whether it's a man or a woman. Neither one can get pregnant if you've got lowered white blood cell count. And not many people realize this also, but having a consistent nighttime routine is very important because a better tomorrow starts tonight. And I'll tell you, there's no better way to get a blissful night's sleep than with the Dream Powder from our friends at Beam. Because after all, everybody knows Beam is the world's most innovative, functional wellness brand with unique products for everything from sleep to recovery. They'll put you to sleep, they'll wake you up again, and they'll fix you up in between. And the Beam Dream Powder contains natural, sleep-promoting premium ingredients, triple lab tested. They took them to 3 different labs. They didn't believe the first 2. They wanted to make it all the way. 3 labs, triple tested. And you wake up refreshed. As soon as you wake up, whenever that may be, whatever day, week, month, sometimes you can leave a note before you go to sleep and somebody will remember to wake you up. But you'll be there pretty much till somebody intervenes. 98% of the people surveyed in this particular survey fell asleep faster when taking Beam Dream, and 99% of people experience better sleep quality when they take this delicious cup of hot cocoa. All you do is stir the powder into milk or water, and actually milk is better. We don't want to live like savages. And you drink it down, and like I say, 98% fall asleep faster, 99% of people better sleep quality. That other 1%, they've done the documentation, and, you know, those people, they were organ donors anyway, so nothing was harmed.
That last percent does not exist. You will be fine. You will wake up alive and with your organs.
Yes, and if you're an organ donor, then for those 1%, they'll still be able to use them afterwards.
After your life. But after you wake up from Beam, you still have many years to go.
No, you won't wake up. At 1%.
You will wake up. You absolutely.
At 1%, we never got any response from them on the situation. But if you don't love it, you'll get your money back or your estate. The folks at Beam will either refund you or your estate if you don't love it, and if it doesn't make you sleep properly, and then if you're not available to be woken up. And leave a note if you want the money to go to charity. For a limited time right now, and for not too long in the distant future, you can get $20 off when you go to Shop Beam. That's BEAM on the Beam. shopbeam.com/JCE. Use the code JCE at checkout. You'll get $20 off. I'm telling you, this stuff is great. Stace uses it every night. Well, the other day, I went and talked to her, and she had a conversation with me for 30 or 45 minutes, said a bunch of things that I wrote down to hold her to later, and then didn't remember a goddamn thing afterwards. It was amazing. But I've still got the notes. So again, folks, $20 off. shopbeam.com/JCE. Use the code JCE at checkout, and you will sleep the sleep of the blissful. Because, as you know what they say, ignorance is bliss, and this stuff will make you stupid sleep.